Hello everyone, welcome back to Base Damage, and welcome back to Community Fridays. With the recent changes to the ban list for Overlord, the good cook himself, Joker, decided we needed to take a look at what changes could be made to Overlord, so he cooked up a sample deck list, and I figured it was very appropriate to definitely talk about. Yes, with the changes, I'm certain there will be people who be like, maybe I'll change to a different deck or something, Nikkei since it's untouched or something. But I do feel, some of the strongest soldiers that have been out there topping a lot of the events and honestly winning a lot of the events as well, I'm fairly certain they're going to look at these changes and try to cook. So I do agree with a lot of the changes that he made to this, but he did have another note I wanted to take a look at real quick. In the notes, he said, this is a sample list. Maybe flex a tap counter or something in here, but this should be pretty close to what we will see. And I do agree with him after taking a look at the list myself. I do fully agree with that. So let's jump right into it and take a look at the deck. New Bone Daddy, obviously, you're never going to truly get rid of Ainz because we have more Overlord stuff coming out at some point. Don't know when, but it's whatever. So jumping right into it, obviously we do have the one copy of the Mare. The second effect is a climax combo that is not used for this deck. It's just run for the first effect. When it's placed on stage from hand, choose one of the following effects. Either you heal one or your opponent chooses a climax in their waiting room and return all cards from their waiting room to the deck except for that card. So what people refer to as a Fumio, that is always a good card to have a one of. The Bone Daddy himself, I feel needs no introduction, but we will go over the climax combos and everything, just to kind of put it into perspective what the changes are and what you're trying to still do, obviously, with the deck. So 3295 Sorcerer King Ainz. When the climax is played, this is too close to slur that I am too white to say. If placed on your climax area, if this card is in your center stage and you have another grotesque or Nazaric character, put up to one card from the top of your clock in the waiting room, so heal one, and then choose one of the following effects and performance. The first one being you get to choose any number of the black goats, the event in the waiting room. You can run up to 5 in a deck, and you can put them underneath him as a marker, or as markers. The next effect is put all markers underneath him into your memory, then choose X number of your opponent's characters and put them into the waiting room. X is equal to the number of the cards, the markers, put into the memory by this effect. So you put 5 goats under him one turn. The next turn you can nuke your opponent's entire board if you have another climax to play. Lastly, you can pick the effect to deal 1 damage to your opponent, and this gets 2k power till end of turn. A little bit extra off finisher if you so need, or if you play multiples of the Ainz. One copy of the 2500 Cold Reaction Nabe backup. When you use this card's backup, you can pitch 2. If you do, choose one of your opponent's characters with a level higher than their level and put it into their waiting room, the anti-change counter. One of the cards that was changed on the list. Previously, they definitely ran this a whole bunch, and there was a pick 1 of 3 cards. A particular level 1 Shawl tier that we will not see in the list, obviously, and this particular Yuri are on a pick 1 of 2 now. Before, it was a pick 1 of 3 sharing those 2 cards and this particular Ainz. I feel this is going to be a majority of the video that we're going to talk about these 2 cards, so let's come back to these. Let's look at everything else in the deck first, and I know I don't typically do this for Community Fridays, but I feel these are the 2 cards that need to be put into perspective the most, so we will be backtracking to the level 2 and the level 1. So next we have 4 copies of Petite and Beautiful Vampire Shawl tier, a 104k. During your turn she gets 2k, so she's a 6, sitting at 7k for the climax combo. At the end of this card's attack, if punishment by humiliation is in your climax area, and you have 2 or more other grotesque or Nazaric characters, or there is no character facing this card, or it's reversed. Choose up to 1 grotesque or Nazaric character in your waiting room, put it into your hand, and you may put this card into your memory. If you put this card into your memory at the beginning of your next draw phase, you can summon her back to any position of your stage. So she just blips out and blips right back in. You either can reverse the battle opponent or swing into an open lane and you still get the combo and you still get to be able to salvage. Really good. Once again, very easy to get your combo pieces. 2 copies of this particular Sebas as a 104k, placed on stage from hand. It gets 2k power till end of turn. During the turn this is placed on stage from hand, you can pay 1, pitch 2 on attack. If you do, search your deck for up to 2 characters, add them to hand. So once again, getting all of your combo pieces. 3 copies of Gazing at the Intruder CZ. 00500, when your other character's battle opponent becomes reversed, choose a character, give it 500, and pay 1, rest this, mill 4 for each climax you get to perform the following effect. Look up to 3 cards from the top of your deck, choose 1 card amongst them, add it to hand, put the rest into waiting room. 2 cards of Master of the Great Tomb of Nazarick. Ainz is a 00500. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can pay 1, put the top card of your deck into your clock. If you do, look at up to 3 cards from the top of your deck, choose 1 character from amongst them, character specifically, put it into your hand, put the rest into waiting room, and it is a level 0 clock bomb. Very good, very nice. 4 copies of one of the other key combo pieces that is not going to be like as highly talked about, but it is big for the combo itself. Unexpected Outcome Ainz. You run 4 copies of this for obvious reasons. 00500, if your level is 2 or higher, it gets the ability that you can pay 1 and discard a card and sack him to summon the level 3 from your hand. So you get to early play him with this particular Ainz. Lastly, at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you can pay 1, put the top card of your deck into clock, and return this to your hand. If you do, choose one of your other Grotesque Race or Nazarick characters and return it to your hand. Just being able to reuse your effects like that over and over is really nice. And then just, you can still like swing with them or leave them in the back, whatever the hell you want to do, and then save a character that you want to use effects for again. Maybe particular on-play effects. Maybe a particular card that lets you filter more. Let's just say. Anyway. 2 copies of Discussion About the Future Demiurge. This is a climax swapper for the deck, and also on play, you can mill 3 cards when you play him. So a little bit extra, like getting cards into the waiting room, which you do want to try to mill the goats and everything, so understandably so. 2 copies of Dark Elf Beast Tamer is 0015 on turn that it's played, it gets 15. And when this is put into your waiting room from the stage, you can discard a card, look at up to 4, add a level 1 or higher card amongst them to your hand, and put the rest into your waiting room. Very nice there, good filtering, and once again, so many different cards to get your combo pieces. It's almost like they're spoiled for choice on this. 2 copies of Throne of the Founding Declaration Albedo, 001K. Beginning of your encore step, if there is a climax in your climax area, you may draw a card and then discard 1. So more hand filtering. Pay 1, pitch 1, mill 4 for each climax. You get to salvage back a character from your waiting room. 2 copies of Sentiments Towards Subordinates Ainz, 00500. When this is placed on stage from your hand, you can pay 1, pitch 1. If you do, search your deck for a Grotesque Race or Nazarick character, add it to your hand. When this is reversed in battle, you can put the top card of your deck into your clock. If you do, look at 2 cards from the top of your deck, choose 1 event or 1 level 1 or lower character from among them, add it to your hand, put the rest into your waiting room. Once again, more filtering, more searching, more getting all the combo pieces that you need. 4 copies of Corner Lady Albedo, 002K. During your turn, she gets an extra 1,000, so she'll be a 3K, and she is what people refer to as a clean cut. Battle opponent becomes reversed, you can choose one of your other Grotesque Race or Nazarick characters, rest it, so if it's already reversed, you can save it from dying, and move it to an open position of your backstage. Lastly, we have 5 copies of Black Little Goats. Is a 1/1 green event. If you do not have a character with Ainz in its card name, this cannot be played from your hand. Choose a Grotesque Race or Nazarick character in your waiting room, return it to your hand, and then give a character 1,000 power till end of turn. It does contain the clause that you can put up to 5 cards with the same name as this into your deck, so you can run 5 instead of 4 copies max. If this card is in your memory at the beginning of your encore step, if you have the level 3 Sorcerer King Ainz in play, you can pay 1, pitch 1. If you do, deal 1 damage to your opponent. And this does stack. If you have multiples of these in the memory, you can pay it for every single one of them. All right, that's the rest of the deck, and I kind of want to put it into perspective with that, because you do see a lot of different cards that let you in between brainstormers, searchers, drop salvagers, drop searchers, mill through the deck, salvage climax combos. You have everything you need to get all the combo pieces that you want. So let's go ahead back up to the Ainz and the Yuri. So obviously I feel the big thing in the room, the biggest change, because the Yuri didn't get removed from a list. This got changed from the pick 1 of 3 to you could only run 1 copy of it. But honestly, it feels like it doesn't matter. Once again, all the other cards that I listed prior to going back to these 2, there were lots of different effects, a variety of different effects, in fact, of different ways of getting to your combo pieces. And that's a huge thing. Even though there's only 1 copy of this, that we will discuss the effects in a moment here, it feels like you just have a plethora of ways to get to it. So it's kind of crazy in that regard. So 1135, a return gift from the, once again, name that I'm not going to say, Ainz, is a Basically, it's an assist. It does a couple different things, though. While it's on stage, the Black Little Goats event in hand get -1 cost. Only in hand cost. It's not like it changes the memory effect. It's just the being able to cast it to salvage back. Oh, look, let me cast this to be able to grab back the 1/1 Ainz, you know? And then from there, they're all free cost. You just have to play them and you can salvage for free, basically. And then they're in the waiting room where you want them to be. It's a level assist as well. Grotesque Race Nazaric characters in front of this card get X power. X is equal to that character's level times 500. When the climax is placed in your climax area, choose one of your Sorcerer King Ainz. That character gets 4,500 power till end of turn, and the following abilities until the end of your opponent's next turn. During your opponent's next turn, this cannot be chosen by your opponent's effects. It gains hexproof. During your opponent's turn, this card and this card's battle opponent cannot become reversed. This is the cornerstone of why this deck is so fucking annoying to play against, and why when I've had people on regional reports, talking about like Duluth and whatnot, people who've been having a rough day playing a tournament sit across from an Ainz player like this, as an Overlord player, and they see this, or they see, oh, I'm about to get ghosted. Yeah. No, never mind. I scoop. And I've gotten that from more than one person. Let's be real. You can go back and listen to any of the regionals discussions that I have done if you want proof of that. Multiple people have said, yeah, I'm not playing against this deck. So making it so the Ainz, the level 3, basically has so many layers of protection. And there are ways around it. Yes, I'm not ignorant of that. I've recommended a lot of different effects that get around this particular card, or get around the hexproof and whatnot. I'm aware of those, but not a lot of people are really playing those. Some of the more highly sought after decks and played decks don't really have effects that do mess with that. It's like, Hololive shenanigans or random free run cards that just happen to like counter these effects that people aren't really trying to play, or it's not really the quote unquote meta that people are used to trying to deal with. So anyway, making it so you can't target your opponent's cards, maybe bounce it off the field with a spin trigger, or I say spin trigger is like the very bare bones, like rogue deck doing that. Obviously not a lot of cards are going to do that. The big thing that people would try to do are reversers, or like obviously the hexproof does matter for anti-change cards. So a lot of times they'll just side with all of their stuff and just not worry about anti-change counters. But anti-change reversers require themselves to get reversed in order to be able to hit them, in order to be able to activate their anti-change effects. And this makes it so not only can you not just kill him in battle, but the battle opponent swinging at him cannot become reversed, meaning those reverser effects are nullified. They can't become reversed, therefore they cannot go off. So the logical thing I understand was to hit this card in some shape, form, or fashion. And I understand doing so, like I said before, it was on a pick 1 of 3 list that did restrict your opponent's cards that had just so much free value. But I feel that changing that, making this now a you can only run 1 copy of, gives your opponent access to being able to run one of the 2 cards again, either the Yuri or that Shaltir that has a draw engine effect, that it lets them have more access to it, despite this being restricted to 1. You think, oh, the odds of them drawing it are slim to none. No. They can still get to it via the plethora of effects. So one of the big ones, obviously, is this particular Yuri. Deputy Leader of the Pleiades. Yuri, once again, this was one of the cards we didn't state before, so let's read the effect now. It's a 2/1 4K if you have 4 or more other Grotesque Nazaric characters. This gets 6K, so it's a 10K body. Very nice. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, and this is the key part here. If you have 2 or more other Grotesque Race or Nazaric characters, you may draw 2, and if you do, choose 2 cards in your hand and put them into your waiting room. So it's a draw 2, pitch 2 filter, which is very, very easy. That's just so nice to have. And on top of that, it pays for itself. Place on stage from hand, if you have 4 or more other Grotesque Race Nazaric characters, you can choose a character in waiting room and put it into your stock. It's a free 10K body that lets you go, cool, I draw 2. Oh, look, here's my 1/1 Ainz. I discard 2 other cards. Oh, look, let me get back the 1 stock that I just paid. Pay the 1, summon the Ainz, go to town. Like between digging for your climaxes, because there are a lot of effects that let you dig for characters or let you salvage characters, search them, and everything of that nature. Outside of the brainstorm being, a look at the top 3, add 1 card amongst them to hand. A lot of the cards aren't really, other than, obviously, Climax Swapper here, there's not really a whole bunch of just grab the climax combo and go outside of it is a gold bar. So you're going to see it from triggering it. That's totally fair. But the Yuri was the thing that really facilitated I didn't trigger one. I didn't draw into it just yet. Let me play another Yuri. Draw 2, pitch 2. Okay, cool. Play another Yuri. Draw 2, pitch 2. Oh, look, I have the combo now. GG's. Go to town. So I feel giving them back, basically, even though, yes, this is restricted to 1, there's more than enough ways to get to it. And you basically have handed them one of the combo pieces that they were using before to be able to facilitate their combos easier. And obviously, you can change up the ratios in here any way you slice it, any way you want to change it. You want to run 4 Yuri, you want to run 2 Yuri. I mean, probably run more than 2, but I'm just saying. You want to change up any of these other cards. Oh, but the drop salvager isn't that good. The Ricky effect isn't that good. Whatever. There's more than enough cards, events. There's more than enough things in this deck between combos, between the entire engine and build of this deck to get this 1/1 out and get to it and do your combos and give Ainz the tools he needs to ruin players' days. Just saying. It's there. I feel the change to the ban list was more of a buff than anything. If you take anything away from this video, take that. Just take that as our opinion here at Base Damage. So really, really crazy. But obviously, the only thing we have to just wait and see. We'll see how it goes with the tournaments, and with Worlds, obviously, is going to be one of the next big things right around the corner. So do tune in for that. We will be trying to watch it live. I will be staying up late, much to the chagrin of my sanity, and trying to watch as much of Worlds when they stream it and everything, and we will be trying to check that out and keep you updated as we go along. So that is going to be it for us today. Thank you very much for watching. If you ever want to post your own decks for Community Fridays, like Joker has posted for this as well, do feel free to join the Discord, unless you are a bot or someone trying to, scam people from, cards from Azure Lane or whatever. Do please stay away in that regard. But if you just want to share your decks, you want to have a really fun time in an awesome community, feel free to join the Discord. There's 2 different channels that let you post decks. There's a deck list submission channel and a Community Fridays channel as well. Feel free to share them in there. If you share a deck log link for it, it's much more likely to be shown on a video. Thank you very much once again. We'll see you another day. Stay safe and remember to stay based.